Getting fried, old Point Tassie down here. Good morning, folks. It's 10:49 a.m. on the 11th day, 8th month, 2023. A lot to look at today. I'm going to talk a bit about the fires going on over in Hawaii. There's a lot of speculation due to people that question the statements of no liars. Example being mainstream locals, the government, about excuses. Are suspecting a lot of directed energy weapon use. And, well, I'll go over a few imageries I have. And I can't directly prove that, but I can prove some of the pinpointing of where things are going on and show you guys how locally, how to impress upon yourselves the accuracy of your information. I'll give you some other things to think about that's going on. So, right, I'm going to go over quick weather forecast for you guys and show you some clouds, and I'm going to go to the fires. Right, I have yet to load up my worldviews today. It won't, seems to be headed. Well, this wonderful thing happened to it. After I show it, they start blurring out the images. So I've learned to load it at the last minute. And so let me move this along as we go through Sunday. A bit of a cloud coming here on the 13th with an up and around move. If you look at the pressures here and the particulates there, so I zoom in on the NZ, you'll see you got a bit of a move going on. You got quite a few vortices here tracking through. They're bringing that cold air in to mix with that tropical flow that was moved back around and to keep you guys very soggy. And heading toward the end of the month, it's not looking well. As you see, you got a bit of a cloud coming there on your accumulations on the 3s to 5s. You're showing a good tendrils that's going to be moved over. It's going to butt up against this direction, causing excessively high totals of 9 centimeters that they hit along this corridor in some spots. And they're saying 5, and I'm not fully believing that. And so I said what I said. Yeah, so I'm more agreeing with this. See, that's why the totals ain't right. And the only way to split that flow like this is to send a beam up the coast. And it's going to put a wall of hot air, but not completely up. I would most likely do it with Hastings beaming down this direction, Christchurch beaming toward the strait. And it should be sufficient to stop the flow and to make this up and around move continue to happen. And so I'll be expecting the EMF beams to be being used to create the storms that are coming over the next few days. And I expect that beam south from there. They're pretty much, let me see if I can nail the day. Well, it has to be on by then. Okay, so by Sunday night, your time, that beam will be firmly in place. Firmly. Maybe even Gisborne shooting down that direction. Someone's got to block straight down. If they cut the flow off here, the beam is this side. Yeah, but there'll be a brief moment when it butts up against the outer wall of the beam, because the beam will be going like that, and it makes it turn a corner in the air, kind of like it does on a circulation down here, where it causes a drop. That'll make that Palmerston North. It's a little bit wet. The wetness is coming. Hey, we're going to zoom right on through, because you had a bit of action here along the coast road. See, down here. As they bring that rain to your old coast roads, you're going to say goodbye to your freedom roads. Your freedom roads are going away, being replaced with the technology roads that are going to spy on you. Let's call them surveillance highways. Worse than they already are. You see how they've held that tendril down here to halfway through New South Wales like that? Flows coming in here from the sea, feeding in here toward Broken Hill in the gem fields. And then the flow's got to switch and bringing in the Banzai pipeline. That's a good day for that to be occurring. Wax your boards, get on there like Danielson, wax on, and get yourselves off. Danielson, he waxed off to get himself off. That's a whole other play on words. And Monday the 14th, as she goes out to sea here, late in the evening, you'll get a nice lightning show to observe at night. From the towers of Sydney, all the way from here to here, you'll have a bit of a lightning show. Of course, you had a bit of an action happen to him. So I got to zip around because there's a bit of action over the next couple of days. Right, as the lines of the 20s here, it causes circulation with the center of the high here, right off your coast. You're going to get a local kick around here from about where my hand is. Pointed at you this month. That is not a lie. You're just in that corridor of flow where you're going to get a bit of action because it's all set up to go. Oh, and as the bubble up came over you, right? You look back here, right? Bubble, bubble, lull, coming across the soggy times for you guys over there. And so that flow comes across. So I'll be expecting a big beams, probably already getting ready to be in place. And I've got Mimic loaded, and I'll show you. We got a show for you. There's always a show to do because the geoengineer and the Care Bears haven't stopped yet. You want me to shut up? Help me stop this. I'll be happy to. I'm not just a natural born whinger. I'm a natural freedom fighter. Look at the Slammaroo coming to you here around the 15th caliber, right on that side. Now, if they have a beam here, she works. One beam across here, she comes right over the top. Very interesting. That. Wow, Auckland. Heavy. Told you so. Fucking told you. It's going to come over quick. Oh. Yeah, with the turnaround like that, coming in like this, that has to have heavier totals here. Boy, you're going to have some coastal erosion. The pack of waka 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 over here, the Kiwi's going to get wet, man. Right over here. Seeing that? Seeing that, my friends? Hey, the beak is better. Better to be on the beach sometimes. But will any rain accumulate when water's washing over it? This I have a question. You get some problems coming to this area here. As these rains come down these mountains here into, let's say, like the Budgie Creek over here. In Arioral River. And the Ganja National Park. Yeah, it looks like the word Gunji. I don't have my reading glasses on specifically. Another Arioral River. These things are going to be flowing. And what town do they visit? Why is it all ending here? Is that another crest stream in down here? And wipes out this area here, overflows that there, comes down here. This is all coming down the mountains too, toward it, right? All these flows are going to have their own problem. Yeah, so I have a feeling it is down over here of Collinwood might have some issues. The shit 60 over here, SH60 is going to have some problems. The vomiting guy over here, para. What is that? I might have actually got one right for a change. I can't turn this map in circles. See a bird? Right, look at this here. Yeah, you guys got problems coming here. Still there. Don't leave it down low if you don't want to watch it go. That's all I got to say about that. Now let's go back to the 4K stations here of the inundations. Max it up. That was just some of the accumulations from what she was getting down there. They're showing. It's been showing for days and days and days, and I think I've already privately messaged a couple people. Hey, to say that we're going to keep vigilant and watching, because as you're getting to the end of the Thames, this size is not over yet. Yeah, you've got some problems that's been showing up, but it was something I seen coming about 14, 15 days ago. I said something. Yeah, I hear you had an earthquake exactly where I pointed. I am not surprised. You had it within the overnight. The beams had to happen. It had to happen. It was a side-to-side quake, from what I'm understanding, which would mean you've had the Australian plate do a bit of a slip, and that's now bound up the Pacific plate. If it's a few more big beams or jostles from these big storm fronts hitting you that are preceded by wakes of EMF blasts, perturbing not just the atmosphere but the mantle and stuff, it could cause some problems. Could get a lot of slides coming up with some of these winds that you got coming. This might not be the best day to be out in your waka here over in the Peninsula on either side. That's for sure. Some of your best places to be during these storms, there's going to be some of these bays around here, because you're able to quickly go to another side with the wind shifted. You'll have moments. So there's some beautiful harboring here for some of the people to keep their boats safe. These are some very interesting features. I love looking at the land here. Lots of vortexes can be created between these island features. Yeah, you could slow a breeze down through there or speed it up. You can block that off and narrow the passage. And when you narrow the passage on a flow, it increases pressure and flow through that passage. Or backs it up on the other end. There's only two ways that goes. Because as we head in here towards the 20th, you're in the middle of an up and around move. And you're starting to recognize it yet? This should be eating into that. that should move around the outside. And this is on its way here. It's one that actually should skate south. A beam over here will have to come out. A secondary low has to form, not just that one. This has to spit, or this will come more firm off the coast. And the EMF heaters are going to determine it, because with heating up the sky with microwaves and other waveforms, lasers and chemical catalysts that when they catalyze other elements, other compounds, but they release heat. Making sulfuric acid with precursors, it will generate heat. Titanium oxide might become a dioxide in the atmosphere. With the sun and other chemicals that have been found in the fallout, things that are not natural, like aluminium in its pure form. Nanoparticles have to be manufactured. So you had some tough times coming here, so I hope that was a bit of a brief forecast. I'm gonna do a bit of a look at Hawaii. It's been some terriblenesses, but I'm not going to pull up any films of it yet. I want to have permission first to do that. So I've got a lot of films of the burns. But everybody's asking a lot about Hawaii, and they're asking why. And they're asking what methods being used to burn. Well, that's a hard one to ever prove. And I can prove it's burned. And I can prove agendas that wanted things. And so I'm going to show you some of that. But right now I'm going to pull up for the first time today the NASA Worldview. And see if it's cooperating. I'll go straight into a couple spots that are notorious for censorship, like here. They catch them with the pigs now. We got no lines on this yet. All right, there's Christchurch. It's like a river there. That's a river underneath there. That's a river those are not chemtrails. There's some mountains covered in beautiful small electromagnetic frequency interference patterns with chem bombs deployed here. Nucleating into more condensates. The facial. That's not naturally looking guppy lip thing out there. Look like an Aztec god. The one would cut your head off. Taking a squat on the guy behind him, but it looks like maybe that's Biden sniffing a child. I don't know. Hashtag exposed the 28 fully. Get in trouble doing it, so that no kid ever has to have happen to him what is suspected and not admitted to by hiding politicians' names. Rather than hanging them higher than hanging for fucking with kids. That's my opinion. Look at the bomb formation. I just couldn't point at it any more obvious chem bomb formation being done over the peninsula. The poor Kiwi's nose, he's dipping in a whole bunch of treats there, huh? That don't look very healthy. And if you think that's healthy, I think you should get on a balloon and go breathe all of it, and then we'll see how you feel afterward. Because I can prove the stuff falling out is far from healthy. I look like the face of a lady looking at you. The lady of the land is watching you. Your ancestors see fucking everything that's going on. Are they happy with your performance? Only they will decide. Meanwhile, they wrote the word cunt in this guy over here. C-U-N. And you're the T. Stewing in the microwaves. Look at this. M&M's. Bomb again. There's so many chem bombs here, I couldn't begin to count. Chemical catalysts, nucleating into condensates. Microwave didn't have anything to condensate, it would just pass through a clean medium. It would leave no detection but the waveform in the detector. We're starting to get the lines. They're coming. Here they come, censoring what's seen on your street. It was whited out with chemicals, no stars to see. What a fucking shame. All that snow on that mountain looked like a bug. Yeah, gotta look for the fun shapes, because man, knowing what this stuff is an absolute lowering thing to have to cover. We had a triangular waveform come out that is undeniable like Xmas today. Let me get this one before I forget. It's show you this savvy right here. This is, you get a triangle here. Look, where's this formation here? At 320 of 2023, a deployment came out here in the form of a triangle with a dot in it. The whole CNI was deployed off of X-Men. Had a skull and bones number on my map. Yeah. See it? 3330. These are skull and bones numbers. See, that's a 1. Tensor 1. Triple IQ. Boom. Big arrow. What are they trying to show? Here. Can you get any more unnatural over a known EMF emitter? Look at the waveform that came out from it. This is older data. I had to save that. See the bomb? That was a bomb that did that. Somebody says that this is all HAARP and CERN, or just CERN doing special clouds, is full of shit and is denying what's before their very eyes. Quit sending me that video of somebody saying that's all it is, because I call bullshit. All day long I zoom in on these things and show you the chemical catalysts. I show you the bomb fields. I showed you videos of fireworks that look like chem bombs being done with planes and other methods. I show you the documents to say that's a known method. Everything is moving except this. You've got something up here very high deploying. Or it's falling lower. But this is over the top of that. That's one vehicle deploying there, one Stratocruiser, two Stratocruisers. These are actually patentable devices. Much more of an Occam razor, less full retard explanation. Hey, actually, that person you're talking about in those videos, I'll mention on name, is somebody I sat in front of and told him I think you're wrong when he said that to me. I said, no, you're leaving the chem bombs out of this. That's right. That's why they want their theory to be right, because they're fucking wrong. They're not showing you the whole picture. You can't prove that with CERN. Matter of fact, one time they said I proved the CERN was off. Is it operating right now? Well, yes. Yes. I'm not going to go into that today. See? Hey, move. There's chem bombs. I'm going to shut that down. I was holding up some data here. Now, I want to talk a little bit about agendas here. What's going on? I'm going to zoom straight over to Hawaii. Hey, did you get chem bombed here before your censorship comes in? Hey, let's clear that up there. A rattle. Hey, look at the chem bomb deployments here. Yeah, I've got you guys over here in the other one. I want to look at the smoke. Let's go out here to the middle of the Atlantic. Let's go to the Hawaiian Islands. And to get to them, I got to go over here. I'm going to zoom way back and go to yesterday. Be the last image I have of the Hawaiian Islands. Hawaiian rainbows, they burn in your hairstyle. If I could just type in Hawaii. It'll save me some moments. Oh, come on. It's going to go to the day. Brush my balls. Oh, we have an imaging. Oh, the latest, greatest image of Hawaii. That'll be the main island. No, there's a lot of movies over here. And here's where they're burning. You see that thing that looks like a head with the nose over here? And the ash? They're burning his hair off. Right? Some of these days that are clear, you can see the smoke coming from the neighborhoods over here in West Maui. Right? Some of the sun levels, again, that wasn't a day. Some of the fires started in the evening of the 8th were absolutely horrendous and raging. Lots of winds being created by these EMF outflows around these islands. See the beam right there? See the bomb field right there over the top of you? Go look at Stacy Sills, S-I-L-L-S. She's got some great captures of it. And she used to do a lot of stuff reporting on chem bombs and stuff, so she'll be great local knowledge. But one of the things I did look into, as I always do, is are there any maps saying what they want for your future? Like this one here, which I'll give you a copy of. And so you guys got a lot of homework to dive into, to look into. And how I find this info is typing in the word Master Plan, West Maui, Agenda 2030, Infrastructure. These little black areas here are slated for state conservation. Some of these colors are for resort hotels. Maybe they're there or maybe they're in the plannings. Only you could determine which neighborhood has been burned out and why. But I'm just giving you the goods to say, hey, look, they want that area for that. They want that area for that. That blue area is slated differently than that purple area, right? Is your house there? In an industrial purple? Or an employment center goes there? Pineapple Hill gets maybe some stuff you've agreed on for a long time. I don't know. Small town center goes there. Rural villages goes there. 15-minute work from here to there. Where's it going to stop? I don't understand what's been proposed in the past, but this will have a lot to do with things. You know, what was been proposed to use from your area. Which site another map I come up with is this one here. That shows a bigger area. And all these maps are available on that website. There you go. You will find these so easy. They're so easy to find. It's just your basic homework. Yep. The West Maui Community Plan and Overview. Is all you got to do is ask a few words and you'll find everything you need to know. It's all set up to go. Lots to look at here, right? West Maui Master Plan Infrastructure 2030 Agenda. And you'll come up with the general plan for all of Maui County, which is this one here. And on this site here is what led to the other ones. This is all publicly available information. Say those same words and use your town name. Wherever you are in the world, you're going to come up with the plans. And they called it the master plan. Who else had a master plan? I wanted to depopulate and thought other people were better. You got general plans, this plan here, the Maui Island plan, which will take you to the whole overview of that. Right, you'll go through these community plan maps right over here, where you get your overviews of all that, and I'll pop you this one here. You'll find this, I think, of great assistance in your pursuit of facts to cause correlations. So I went over here and I did the West Maui one was down here. So if they burn any of the other ones, like all of it's already here. So if you should go through these, if you live in any of these, and see what the hell they got planned for you. Like even on a random, what is Handy? But that's a cool Saturday. Oh, with Pukalani. Pukalani gave you that map I think I showed you early. Makapuka laka makakulakana mana mana poka. They want to poke your wallet. See, this is all decided, done, dusted. And it's time for us to say, no, it is not. It is not done. Stop doing it. And they say, it's wrong to keep the oneness from people. It's wrong to suddenly tell your property is illegal or to steal. Government to come in and take it away, say you can't rebuild because of disaster, but we already have the money ready to buy it right here in our hand. That's a plan, man. Hollow Laughter, Marble Halls, kind of Pink Floyd, Dogs of War kind of shit going on. That's all right. Do we have any absolute beatings going on up here in Hawaii? And the best way for me to show you that would be to go to somewhere different. I have to go over here to COD. And so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go right to the U.S. radar loops. You guys go find more links off me than Lancelot's link secret chip head on. I'll go with the COD. Shuts down one of the savages. Both of the savages. And now we're going to go through the next right. Open localized section. Radar selection. Hawaii. Let's have a look at the whole area. Let's see what they're doing first. And I'll give you... Oh yeah, they've shut the strait off. You have no flow through here at all. I'll give you 96 images. What's up, Jack? What's cooking? What's up, Dr. Frying? You hear it? The flow through the strait is very effectively shut. Is they're moving the storm of that hurricane that ain't gonna really, doesn't look like it's gonna hit you. And I'll go over that too, I think. That one's shut. Right, you ain't getting through that strait with normal flows of air. These things die on the other side of that line. So we'll go look at one of the other islands. See them. I want this. All right, let's go to yeah. So it's actually shut down that strait to cause the wind that goes over the tip of the island with a fire. Honolulu's beaming south. Cause the flow line to go to its north. It's spiking up toward this direction, pulsing all around it. A lot of military stuff out here. Right? That's the island that's burned, and it was beaming that way. Let's go look at that. Look at this one here. You see what she's showing? Beaming back towards the fire zone. And so we know we've got some definite weather manipulation going on here. Is that beam is solid on this way. The other beam was solid coming back that way. It's pinning all the wind flows to this side of the head where the fires are. They're increasing the damage of the fires by fanning it with electromagnetic frequency, actually making the wind flow go in certain directions. Hamming it. See? It forced it along that lane. That's the bellows, man. That's the bellows. Yeah, this is an absolute side-by-side bust. They did both directions. We know we had that going up and that comes out at an angle like that. They've actually designed the airflow to fan the flames, it looks like. What a fucking shape. Right, I'm going to minute. I'm going to shut that one down. Oh, I told you I'm going to be all over the shack today. No, it's this one. Right. The beams, back this one up into this. Of course, your second tundra will go south. That other one there is not going to hit you guys. The beam here is manipulated and cut it just over here. You see pretty good here. I'm over here looking at the river of moisture, and this is Hawaii, and this is Central America and Mexico, United States. Now, if the beams come up and back this tendril up, it's going to cause a lot of rains here along this line and through here, Panama, and those countries through there. And that's steaming along. This is headed south. It's not going to get you guys. Right? You pretty much assured that all they want is these winds here. Dry winds to fan the flames of these neighborhoods. They're burning down. It looks like they're burning them down for agenda purposes. I don't think anybody was careless with the matches. Well, they'll find somebody to do something just to keep their own guilt from being known, whether it was Lockheed Martin planes that had the lasers on them, right? There's some located in the areas over there. They got lots of toys at Pearl Harbor capable of starting fires from vast distances, total plausible deniability. But did they just pay somebody to go down the road and set them on fire? They definitely have had the EMF set up to keep fanning the flames. I've just shown that. This here's a steamer. Yeah, Japan's over here about to have a big problem. And as it goes along, it skims it. Some of it's going to come up north to those islands up there. But I'll cover that a little bit more later. Right? I've pretty much gone over your weather. Now let's see what we can look at here in a second. So I showed you the rabbit hole of the councils. I showed you that. I gave you the link. Showed you that. Gave you links. Mimic is still there. The less I got running, the better it is for me. So you can see the cloud formations now. How do they stop in that direction along the edge of the beam line to guide the air right over the top of the smoke, or where the fires are being fanned? Hopefully be out. He was guided in. The EMF heated outflow walls clearly fanned the flames. And it took neighborhoods away. Lots of chem deployments here. ChemBomb. See them over here at this site. You can see that square there and all this. Not naturally occurring cloud formations here. It's like everywhere in the world. There's that flower of death deployment that has another clouds under the bottom of it. In the number 2 and 3 in your sky. On a 32 date, there's this ritualistic, magical killing of plants, animals, and life. And I think they have gain. Well, I think it's time for your hell to show up and take them home. You're going to do devilish things in my world. You deserve what you get coming. Sure, let's zoom across the world here now and go right back over here and have a look at some of the chem deployments off the coast. Where I showed you the EMF blast that led to a triangular formation, which is quite visible here, but not as defined as it was when the bomb went off and blew it all out. Right? A very well-known EMF emitter here with chemical catalysts in this line right here. See the ChemBomb deployment right there along that line. This is not all done with just EMF. Matter of fact, this is almost all done with the waveform from that radio antenna and ChemBomb to propagate the waveform. And as of yet, the chemical catalyst hadn't been thinned out enough to make that wave that I showed you at the beginning. And so this is very early on in that formation. A bit of a fall street cloud over the main place. Lots of chemical bombs in here. My God. This is chemical warfare and the whole life on this world. It's not just old microwave puppies there. Inside here, you'll see the catalyst deployed. I very often show them on live as they're streaming out. I'm not going to go back and load that one today. Sipping a Christie out back here. Got Michael Jackson cloud in. Maybe that's Michael there. He's picked a new nose. Or is that the Pinocchios from the shadow nose of the shadow government is sticking it in all our damn business? Only you could decide. My imagineering sees shapes in the clouds, and I call it such. But these EMF waveform interference patterns here, with chemical catalysts falling out on us, is unacceptable. Well, look at that there, like an anchor from the wankers. See? One plume goes up, its convection's taken in back upon itself, here like the mushroom cloud on a bomb. You'll see plumes going sideways. Something is deploying in a particular direction, and to get an effect from your cloud plumes. That is wanted by the geo engineers, who obviously are getting paid by somebody, and we deserve to know. Why in the hell is these chemicals in our sky? Why is everybody feeling like they got no energy? Why does this cloud look so angry? Why is this night no different from any other night? Was it chemically attacked all across the top of these forests? Right? Look at the chemtrail with its shadow here. Somebody might have seen just that shadow and say, oh, look, that's graphene oxide. And didn't go look and say, hey, maybe the sun must be over here casting a shadow over there. Right? Imagine they'll cast it on the chemtrail itself up here, so the shadow might move a little bit, because that's higher altitude, catching the shadow game from the shadow government. This is blatant. It's a chemtrail, and it didn't dissipate in a minute or so it would take. It spread out and took sunshine. It's not naturally occurring if it did that. There's something's in the mix doing it. A plane could come by in an area where there's thin vapors of chem and suddenly make a trail because the heat of its exhaust condensated, it catalyzed it into something else. Now you got a bit of a fire over here. Know the difference between a chem bomb and a fire. All right, do your homework. How do you know a fire is? Go over here. Hit that. Hey, go away. Add layers. Hit over here to thermal anomalies. Add fires. Make sure you tick a box of some sort of your like the day-night anomalies. And we see. And you'll get information when you click on it. Hey? And you know where to go look. And you know, oh, I'll go on my local services and find out information if I'm not in danger. If I'm not going to worry about it. But I wouldn't want to be breathing the smoke from burning trees that have been sucking up this chem for all these years. The insides of the trees are dying. They're black, full of chemicals. And you wouldn't want to be in the smoke of the fire of these forests and breathe that. Those poor smoke jumpers and firefighters out there, I swear to God, the stuff they had to breathe 2 years ago, 3 years ago alone, it was a death sentence. Hey Higgins, look, you could draw a dick. See the waveform pulse? It's like a circle. You could just draw the circle, find out there's an emanation point. Somewhere in the center of it has been dimpled. The atmosphere. Crazy. X-Rad can do that, HAARP can do that, planes can do that, bombs can do that. You can float a bomb in the very center of here and do it frequently. A set amount of time apart, you could set the water in motion. You could create that interference pattern with bombs and salt, like timpani. You could do it with your finger in a bathtub. Your dancer could do it by agitating the atmosphere with explosives, like the ones in the comparing chem bombs and firework videos is on YouTube channel of mine that I posted on my wall today. Another 3 in the sky. This is their big day. Winds blow in that direction over, and that's part of the atmosphere. So why is that going that way? Because it's a different layer of the atmosphere that's being manipulated. And your mind's being manipulated so that you'll give up your money so that they can do this more with it while we die. And being honest, the slow kill ain't doing it. We all got to stop worrying about they'll kill me if I speak out. They're killing you because you don't. And I go out here and I look at these storms out in the Pacific like they go here yesterday. There was a big steamer out here. The absolute big steamer. But when you look in the center of it, it's not devoid of clouds. It's quite the opposite. You know, bombs going in this direction. See how square it is? That's a 5-1. That one's a 4. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spike. Compass and square on that one. Shape charges. Shape charges change the world. I'll tell you that. You'd have no implosion on a nuclear device that they say to reach the critical mass. That's a looper. See the dots? Ah, I can't fix stupid, but thank God it's going away. Big beam line impacted the front of that I showed in the video the other day, and you could see it plain as day. Something came across here. It actually did a crisscross. This is not a good toilet flush. Cycle it in towards the center. This is geoengineering a disaster. It's going to be quite a while away, maybe about 3 or 4 days. There's its corridor of flow. See it all mixed in? There's some food for it right here to be gathered as it comes by. And today's image of it is that it's a bit closer to Japan, making more of a curve up the coast this way, more toward Fukushima, and I have a deep concern about this storm. And so let's go forecast it. Let's just do this shit. I got the weather radar to get this and live. Okay, we ain't gonna arcade this one. Let's have a look. Well, this is back from the 8th. This island was exceedingly guilty of being in this when it was right over the top of it. And I'll show you it, since I remember it. I'm on the ball. I've been covering this a long time, Jay. Long time. So it's allowed me to watch and to see visibly what is hidden. And where was it? Give me a moment. This one here. Look at the beam in here of the river of moisture on this island here. See the pulse, the circles, the ripples of the atmosphere, or the waveform going through the particulates and condensating them in those lines. That's what those indicate. That you've had a nucleation that gave back a radar return, and to be interpreted by the computer. And there's a pulsation right there. Zzzt. You're afraid of a big storm here. And the totals for this place here on the 10th is terrible. Terrible totals coming to this island of it. And the Dito, the Daddy-O, and Song. Oh, I like Song. Song, blow, sing a acapella, semapalo. Boom, who's creeping through your window? You see the patterns of these storms? How about the one I predicted? It went in here and it did a turn and it came back here and it wiped it. It did everything I said. Just from reading the fucking beams and the chemtrails in the sky that show the past, show the food, show the particulates, and the cyclone seasons. And have it. Oh, that suckers to be in Osaka, don't it? Yeah, this is fairly eminent. As this big old dingus shape comes ashore. I'll put it back on the satellite. You can see which going on. We're just going to go to the 12s. It's all squared off. It's looking on one side, being held on another. Lots of chem streamer to the wrong directions on the toroid. So you got a heated outflow line here. It's going in and everything else is stopped. It's a shove move. Move it slowly, waiting, drifted north, and he's going to steam right on in. He's going to get in this corridor here, right up under these islands. You should go right through them. It's be easy to make a vortex here. Put a line right here. As that goes down south below it, and they're fucked. Might even wait till they put it right above the island, hit the backside of the storm right there, and it's coming in. So I'll be looking for that beam here in the next 24 hours. Yes, I will. You will not hide your lies in the skies from my fucking eyes. That is for damn sure. See the chem bombs going by, chemical catalysts inside a waveform here? This is not CERN. This ain't a gravity wave. Don't buy that shit. I'll show you documents that say they can use the artillery method, the fireworks and artillery method. They're like Roman candles. Well, they got chemicals in them. And look at that here in the center. See this? And this is showing up even in the CGI. I forgot to take this out. Yeah, this is the satellite image of the last 12 hours. And this was 7 hours and 14 minutes ago in the middle of the ocean. So there's something wanted here flow-wise that's going to affect something else. and they need the waveform. Looks like they're going to make a V. So I'm expect a beam to shoot north from about that spot here. So they're probably working on this up here. There's some big devices out there, folks. You got a lot of homework to do. And if you think that compass and square there is a naturally occurring cloud formation, I'll show you the Sydney Opera House. Big love. Stay safe. Be you. Be free. Be oneness.